Hi everybody, Zach here. Welcome back to the channel, and we've got a lot to update you on related to Shiba Inu and the overall market. We're going to start right here with the Bitcoin short positions because we know how much this influences the entire market. Of course, if you're on Twitter, you probably just saw the tweet from Shytoshi. We're going to go over that as well. Could we be getting Shibaswap this weekend? We're going to cover it in this video. We're also going to cover two exchanges which could potentially become two catalysts for Shiba Inu down the road. That's right, two. One today that tweeted, which we've covered earlier in the live stream and in a previous video, but another one that's got some breaking news just happening recently as well. So let's start right here with datamish.com. We could see that Bitcoin short positions are down, which is a good overall indicator that the market is pretty stable right now. A lot of people not betting that Bitcoin will go down. That's always good because we know how dominant Bitcoin is in the overall market, nearly 50%. It's hovering right around that 45% market dominance level right now. So this is good to see, especially with all of the positive catalysts here coming this weekend, at least that we believe is coming this weekend. We're going to jump into that tweet just in a minute, but before we get there, let's take a look at the charts for both Shiba Inu and Leash. Right now, SHIB down with the entire market. Market down about 4% right now overall. SHIB right around there with it, down about 5.5% right now, sitting at that 8.3 level. What I want to focus in on here, not so much the charts because we've been consolidating. I want to focus on the number of holders here as we ramp up toward Shibaswap. And we can see here getting close to 575,000 total addresses. It'll be interesting to see if we can cross that 600,000 mark coming up this weekend. We take it out a month, we can get a better picture. Look how much we've grown just over the past month. We go back way down here in June. Nearly didn't even have 500,000, had 459,000 to open up the month. 1 month later, we've added a little bit over 100,000 total addresses to the SHIB army. And of course, this price right now, we're looking to break or shatter or get rid of this zero. That's really the big goal right now. We were unable to do that during the AMA event. I do think this weekend, with the Shibaswap coming out and potentially some other big news, perhaps Coinbase gives us something. Perhaps eToro gives us some more information. I think Coinbase would be big to help us shatter this zero, but I think Shibaswap can do it on its own. So here we go. Doge, the Doge Killer Leash. We'll take a look at this. This down a little bit more right now, down 11%, sitting at 3,100. We saw this thing rise up like crazy ahead of the AMA event. The all-time high, almost 9,000 on this asset, which is kind of shocking. Now the 7-day high, 4,400. Just a little bit over 4,400 there, and the 7-day low 1,700. So it's kind of sandwiched in there between right now. I know a lot of people asking in our private Discord, you know, when's a good time to get into Leash? And my short answer is I really don't know. And I'll tell you this because it's been so up and down, and I haven't really looked at Leash all too often. But if we look at the all-time high, right, it's at 9,000. If you plan on holding this for the long term, I could see this being a pretty good spot to get into, especially ahead of all these positive catalysts, and we're going to bounce over to that right now. So if you're just seeing this for the first time, Shytoshi just sent out the tweet, man, I love the weekend, don't you? Channeling his Elon Musk, that comes from SHIB Cryptologist there right below. I think that's a perfect way to explain it. This is very Elon Musk-esque, right? Very cryptic. Speaking of Elon, he tweeted out today, baby Doge. That was a whole nother story. If you missed that today, go back and check out our live stream. Check out the early video I put out this morning. That was a wild ride. It was up almost 100% at one point today, sitting about up 35% right before recording this video. So this tweet right here, we can break this down, and I think it's pretty easy, right? We know that Shibaswap is close. We know the AMA event just took place 2 days ago. All indications are that Shibaswap is dropping this weekend. At least that's the way I'm reading this, and that'll be really something to watch over the weekend. Of course, here in the States, we've got the 4th of July weekend coming up, so could be a lot of fireworks in the air for Shiba Inu as well. And in addition to this, of course, we'll be watching this closely to see if there's any follow-up to this. Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comment section below. When do you believe it'll be launched? Also, if you're getting some value out of this, make sure you like and subscribe. Would appreciate that. So I'm going to drop this one on you right now. So I don't know if you guys saw this, what's going on with Robinhood. So Robinhood recently just paid out a ton of money, $70 million, to people who filed lawsuits against them. Now, with all that behind them, breaking news just came out this afternoon that Robinhood is filing for their IPO, which essentially means they are going to be a publicly traded company here, At least they're filing to do so. They've got 18 million accounts managing 80 billion after rapid one-year growth. Of course, that growth happened during 2020 and into 2021. This is very interesting. Of course, Coinbase just filed their IPO not too long ago, and what happened after that? They're starting to add more and more assets. Could this be the first step for adding Shiba Inu? Once they file for their IPO and get that off the ground, maybe they look then to add to their crypto space. I think this is an interesting piece of how this story will unfold for Robinhood, potentially adding Shiba Inu down the road. So this is one that we look at, an exchange we look at, one that we call upon quite often because it just fits what Shiba Inu is trying to do, building a community through cryptocurrency. And of course, so many people hold their Dogecoin over on Robinhood. So figured this was definitely relevant. Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments as well. I thought this was interesting. And of course, we had this news today. So if you're just new to this, this popped up early this morning. eToro gave us some indication this morning that they will be looking at Shiba Inu as an asset to add. So they say, asking when Shiba Inu, but no one asking how is. Then, of course, somebody from the Shib Army says, Shib's doing awesome. How you doing, eToro? And eToro bounces back with this, and this is really the response that I think gives us all the information we need. We'll highlight this little piece right here, and I'll scroll up because I got my box in the bottom left, which is, I know, a little bit different than normal. But there's a lot to do before we can add assets, and it could take a while, but rest assured, we're working on it. No ETA or guarantee for now. But what that tells me is they understand what's at stake here. They understand that there's a lot of money to be had if they add Shiba Inu because they've heard how loud the community has been, especially with Voyager just recently adding them, Coinbase potentially adding Shiba Inu as well. And speaking of Coinbase, I'm going to keep it on this screen, but give you some analysis regarding Coinbase. We continue to wait for that. I just want to mention this. I mentioned this in my previous update, but in case you missed it, we had an instance with Solana where Solana came to Coinbase not too long ago. They too had technical difficulties, very similar situation on the surface than Shiba Inu did. And it took them 3 to 4 weeks before the asset was actually then released on the platform. In fact, it just happened not too long ago. Solana was finally released onto Coinbase. So maybe the same thing happens here. So if that were the case, we're about 2.5 weeks in since we got the tweet from Coinbase that said, hey, technical difficulties, we will not be rolling out Shiba Inu right now. So maybe we're right around the corner from a Coinbase listing. Here's the thing. Let's go back to the price. I do believe if we can get Shibaswap and we can get Coinbase in the next week and a half or so, looks like Shibaswap's coming this weekend. All indications are, right? And then we get Coinbase there short after. I do believe we could get back to all-time highs, which would just put a 3 next to where this 0 is, and we'd be right around all-time highs, that 3.8 level. I do think it's highly possible and probable that we get up there and maybe at least get close to all-time highs, maybe not set new ones. But here's the thing. I mentioned this in the live stream, and I'll mention it here in this video again. When AMP was listed on Coinbase not too long ago, AMP, a new token, it 4x'd. It 4x'd immediately when it was listed to Coinbase. Not Coinbase Pro, but when it went from Coinbase Pro to Coinbase, it 4x'd. A lot of people say, why did that happen? Well, it was the cheapest asset added to Coinbase. It was a new asset. It was also one that you could earn free AMP tokens by taking those quizzes. So if that's a similar situation and that's how they roll out Shiba Inu, this will be very, very interesting to see because I do think it could be as big of a catalyst as Shibaswap will be, which looks to be this weekend. So again, if you got some value out of this, make it a thumbs up on the down there right below the video. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new. And one last thing before we get out of here, we do have the Patreon going on. We've got a couple active patrons this month already. We'd love to have you join us over there. And here's the thing with the Patreon group. It's a private community. You're going to get inside access to everybody in our community, including myself. We're going to build a portfolio together if you plan to go with the insider level, which will be $20 per month. Then you could do the $10 per month, just be a supporter and have Discord access that way too. Let me know your thoughts about that down below. And the Patreon link will be listed for you in the description as well. So give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video.